On the Fraser, we probably have 40 to 50,000 in the Fraser Delta. But the way we actually look at the populations, the Fraser Skagit population, because all of our birds move down to the Skagit Delta, which is in Washington State. So they go down there for about a month and then they come back again. So we manage them on that basis as a total population. And that population was 85,000 last year. We haven't done a count yet this year, so we don't know. Well, but just a few years ago, it was 100,000, 110,000. So
there's power in numbers. You've brought some visuals for us. Let's have a look. Let's have a listen. Now, as we look at this annual return, what's distinctive, physical characteristics about the snow geese and even the sound of when that flock arrives?
Yeah, that flock, that was taken probably in Richmond, I'm not sure, but that's very typical of a flock of snow geese, the sound. And you can have 20,000 birds in a flock, and when they get up and fly, because an eagle flies over or something disturbs them, it's pretty loud. And but these geese, they weigh about 3 pounds. The males are a little bit bigger than females, and they have red faces. These birds in the Fraser estuary actually develop orange-stained faces because they feed in the mud that have a lot of iron oxides. And that's actually how the Russian biologists on Wrangell Island, where they're breeding, can tell if it's a Fraser estuary bird or a California wintering bird.
Just by that face?
Just by the face, that natural stain on the face.
Oh,
in California, they don't feed in the marshes anymore, but here they still do, and yeah, so it's a nice natural marker for these birds.
Now, what do some of the farmers do? Because there's a significant impact these geese make on our local lands.
There sure is, and the geese are actually, because they grub in the mud for rhizomes, the bulrush rhizomes, they actually are extirpating, they're actually excavating large areas of the marsh and disturbing it. So because the amount of food in the marsh is actually going down over the years, they're actually moving into the farms to feed. And yeah, it could create some problems for farmers, for sure. Not at this time of the year because they're only cover crops, and we actually have a cover crop program where we supply farmers with seeds or money to buy seeds for cover crops. But it's in the spring when they could be a problem, when the farmers are actually planting new crops for the summer, and the geese have come back from the Skagit, and they can really hammer those fields at that time. So, but the farmers, so there's a cover crop program, but they can also scare. They have scare permits that they can acquire from the Canadian Wildlife Service to move birds off their property. And there are kill permits, too. They could actually shoot birds if they want to, or allow hunters onto their property to move birds off as well. So there are a few techniques.
Well, you have a colleague over in Russia who has some video for us. So what's unique to the breeding ground of where they stay for? How many months of the year are they actually?
Well, they arrive in late May and leave by the end of August, usually September. And it takes them from here to get there, it takes them about a month and a half on the migration. And to return to the wintering grounds, it takes about 2 months. They stop off in different places on the way to feed, and they have young, they have families, so they need to feed their young, and they're still growing. But Wrangell Island is a beautiful place. It's kind of like an oasis in the Arctic. That's the way I look at it. There's even a mountain called Dreamhead, believe it or not. It's an American term, but somebody named this mountain Dreamhead, and the whole valley is just beautiful where the geese are nesting. There are polar bears on the island, there are musk oxen, caribou, and lots of other different kinds of birds, and the flowers. The Arctic flowers in July are just incredible. You can spend days just photographing the flowers. It's a beautiful place.
Well, listen, sounds like a beautiful backdrop. Canada.ca, great resource to learn more about the impact, local impact, and on our ecosystems of these snow geese. Sean, thanks for coming by.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah,
nice to learn all about this. More on the snow geese and more with a final look at your weather forecast. The rains are coming. Russ is next.